Hi, my name is Karen. I'm the director for CIEE in Copenhagen. I work for CIEE here for 3 years, and one of my favorite things about working for CIEE is that I get to show students coming here my city and my country. And I hope I can get you a little excited about coming as well within the next few minutes. And let me just share my screen so I can tell you a little bit more about it. So on this photo is probably the most photographed street in Copenhagen. This is called Nyhavn, and you see it on most advertising for Copenhagen. This is where people hang out and drink a beer or a glass of wine and have some dinner. As soon as the sun comes out and it gets a little warm, people come here and hang out. So where is Denmark? Well, Denmark is in Europe. And as you can see on this map, we're right in the center of Europe. Well, that can be discussed, of course, but we are very centrally located and it's very easy to go to other countries and visit either by train or plane. And hopefully the borders will open soon so that more people can travel. Another thing that you might be able to see on this map is that Denmark has a lot of coastal line. We actually have 4,500 miles of coast, so you're never more than an hour away from a beach in Denmark. In addition to this, we have more than 400 islands. So going around the countryside, you will have to cross a lot of bridges or go on ferries, and it's fun to go around and discover our small but beautiful country. So why should you come and choose to study in Copenhagen? Well, you should really come here because you should come and study and live in the happiest countries, in one of the happiest countries in the world. We've been number one several times, but we're not always number one, but we're always in the top three among with some of the other Scandinavian and Nordic countries. And why is that? Well, I think it's because we're a welfare state. We have free education, free healthcare, and we happily pay our taxes, and it's probably the highest in the world, but we do realize what we get for our money, and we think it's worth it. Coming here, you'd also be able to explore one of the most livable cities in the world, that is Copenhagen. We come up on top here in top three almost every year. And again, you could think about why is that? Well, I think it's because Copenhagen is both a very historic city, but it's also a very modern and urban city that's very livable. It's easy to live in Copenhagen because you have so many opportunities and things you can do. And I'll try and share more of that in the next few slides. You can indulge in the very famous Danish cuisine, also for some people called the New Nordic cuisine. It all started in Copenhagen when we had one of the best restaurants in the world for 4 years called Noma. It is not the best right now. It's only second, but still pretty good, I think. A lot of chefs have been trained at Noma through the years, and that has meant that they've gone out and opened their own restaurants. So you get a tremendous variation of restaurants with a very high quality of the food we get. Most people, when they come to Copenhagen, the first thing they notice is how everybody rides your bikes around. So this is what we try to introduce to students as well. Rent or buy a bicycle and get to know the city and get around by bike. Just like our crown princess on this photo. She has just picked up her twins from the kindergarten and is heading back to the palace with them. So get here, get a bicycle and explore the different neighborhoods of Copenhagen. And finally, you should really come and learn all about hygge. You might have heard about it. Within the last few years, it's become one of those things that most people have heard about, and it's a Danish concept. It's all about hanging out, being cozy, light some candles, have something to drink. It could be a glass of wine or it could be a cup of tea, but it's all about being with people, relaxing, and enjoying yourselves. But if you come here, we'll make sure that you learn all about hygge. So, what are the highlights of Copenhagen? Well, it is one of the smaller capitals in Europe, but it's still very cool and a cosmopolitan city. Um, there's lots of things happening, and it's a very international city. It used to be a Viking village, but today it's very lively, and there are lots of possibilities to do things. So we both have an active music scene, lots of culture activities with museums, but also lots of things you can do outdoors. The harbor in Copenhagen has been so clean for years that now people are swimming all over. There are several harbor pools where people jump in all year round and enjoy the water, however cold it is in the wintertime. And even you can even go skiing all year round at what we call Copen Hill, which is a rooftop of an incinerator smack in the middle of the city. We have very low crime rates here. It feels very safe when you're in Copenhagen. It's also very organized, and public transport can get you anywhere at a reasonable price. We have buses, we have trains, we have a metro, and it's very easy to get around if you don't feel comfortable going on your bicycle. Even though we do have 400 kilometers of bike paths in Copenhagen, so it is very safe to go around on your bike. Copenhagen is also the home of the world famous amusement park Tivoli, which is the oldest operating amusement park right now, and it has just opened for the new season. In addition to that, of course, you also have to visit the Little Mermaid, who sits there at our harbor, and maybe even go and visit the house of the fairy tale writer Hans Christian Andersen, who wrote the fairy tale about the Little Mermaid. Copenhagen is, as I said, very historic, but it also is very modern and forward-looking. So we are the first capital in the world to be carbon neutral by 2025, and we have just been named the greenest city in the world. So that is also one reason to come here, to live in a livable, most livable city, happiest country, and be part of a green and live in a green city. And finally, the CIEE Copenhagen Study Center is located right in the city center. And I usually say it's only a 5-minute walk from everything. Well, almost, but definitely is only a 5-minute walk from the little castle Rosenberg that you see in this photo and the garden surrounding it. It's a very popular hangout for everybody in the summertime. And if you're interested in jewels, the crown jewels are housed in the basement of this little castle. So what do we offer here for the fall? Well, we offer open campus blocks, and we are the host here at the study center. You can come and study for 6, 12, or 18 weeks. And each block is six weeks. And then for each block, you enroll in 2 courses. And then in addition to that, you get to take part in a survival Danish class if you want to. But I can only recommend that because it's fun for you to learn just a few Danish phrases so that you can go shopping and maybe order in a restaurant or a bar. It, it is fun to just have a little bit of idea of the language that we speak here in Denmark. And of course, you'll be studying with other CIE students that are in Copenhagen and maybe online for some of your classes with students on other CIE locations. What do we do when you're not in the classroom? Well, as I've already mentioned, you should really try to explore the city by bike. And what we do for students when they arrive in Copenhagen, we take them on a study tour or a bike tour around the city, show them some sights. But more importantly, we also tell you about the rules and how should you behave in the traffic when you're on your bicycle. Yet there are a couple of photos here of people. Well, one, you can see the bikes, but the other one that has been a very popular thing for our students is to go and find the forgotten giants, where you see one of them at the bottom corner here. There are several of these giants around the city of Copenhagen, and they're not necessarily in the most easy and accessible places, so it's fun to go on your bike and find them. You can go swimming in the harbor, as I already mentioned, or skiing, as you can see three students here on Copenhagen skiing in the springtime last year. We visit museums, and for some of the classes, we'll go and visit companies or organizations. That could be Danish or international, depending on the course and what you're studying. We'll do day trips, and some of them could be to visit Hamlet's castle, Kronborg, in Helsingør, the famous castle where Hamlet said the famous words of to be or not to be, or even the words, there is something rotten in the state of Denmark. Not so sure that's true though, but you have to come and check. We can also jump on the train and go to Odense and visit Hans Christian Andersen's museum, see the house where he was born and where he grew up, and learn all about his life and his fairy tales. And finally, we can also jump on a train and we can go across the bridge to Sweden to visit the city of Lund and Malmö. It's only about 30 to 40-minute train ride from Copenhagen, and it's fun to go, and you should go and try and check out whether you can hear the difference between Danish and Swedish. And then, of course, there's lots of hygge. We'll make sure that we have activities where you get to spend time with other students and have some food, watch a movie, and we'll light candles and make it hyggelig for you. I just wanted to also show and share with you a couple of photos of the study center. So the study center is located here in this building on the first floor, and we have the whole floor. And what you see here in this photo is the student lounge where students are hanging out for a movie night and watching a movie. And it's also the student lounge that you see in the background of, that I have in the background of the video here. It's a really nice location. We have beautiful classrooms and a really nice and beautiful student lounge for you to hang out in between classes. So what does the COVID situation look like in Denmark right now? Well, it is actually opening up a lot. We are still required to wear face masks in public buildings, but only indoors. We've never been asked to wear face masks outside in the free air. We practice 6 feet social distances, and we use hand sanitizers everywhere. You can use taxis and public transport. Again, you'd have to wear your face mask in that. Shops are open, wear your face mask. Uh, Restaurants and museums are opening up. You can sit outside restaurants, but if you want to go inside, you need to have a reservation and you need to show a negative COVID test. The same goes for museums. Not a reservation, but a negative COVID test. But when you look out today in the streets of Copenhagen, things look really normal and there's lots of activity and lots of life back again in the streets. And it's wonderful. If you want to know more about Copenhagen and studying here, there are lots of resources on the CIEE website. I would highly recommend that you read some of the blogs and watch some of the videos. It is done by, some of it is done by other students, so you get a good impression of what it's been like for them to study in Copenhagen. I'd also recommend that you follow us on Instagram and maybe even check out some of the older posts, because a lot of them are done by students when they were studying here, and they're showing what life was for them and showing and sharing their favorite places in Copenhagen. This was all I had for you, and I hope I'll see you in Copenhagen soon. I would love to show you more and tell you more about it. So hang in there and come visit. Hi, hi, or as we say in Danish, farvel.